Greetings, BL Obsession friends and everyone else who comes across this video. I was thinking about writing a review to a BL series I had just finished yesterday, My School President, 12 episodes from 2022. It was a very highly praised. I think they won 3 awards and was praised as one of the big series in Boys Love's series. Now, I had watched Force Gemini, the two actors as main protagonists, for the first time in another series, which was Love Mix-Up, something like. Now, My Love Mix-Up brought me in a very particular way into it, and it is not entirely irrelevant to my view on My School President as to compared to others who watch it in a different order. When I saw Force and Gemini as a couple, or yes, the actor playing a becoming couple, it was after reading the Japanese manga, which I quite loved, after watching the Japanese real TV series, which I liked a lot because it was quite similar to the manga, and then watching it as the Thai version, where I can say the actor Force, I won't even try to pronounce his Thai name. The actor Force is probably one of the most capable actor of his generation. Still, there was something, that I read manga, especially you from the group know that I read manga for 20 plus years. I am now half a year, 3/4 of a year, or some such 1 year tops into watching BL series. And it's quite a different experience. Quite. And I'm still quite over the fence, personally speaking, on what I like more. Because in manga, you can do many things which for many reasons you can't in film. For instance, you can hint physicality. You get my meaning. Let's call it not like the Prudes wants us to. Sex. It can be hinted first. So you still have it for an audience. I think it's usually sold here in German for people from 16-year-old. But you have to know, especially if you're from America or the Anglosphere, you have a very, compared to Europe and especially compared to German, we have a very higher tolerance towards what you would find astounding or offensive or something that should not be shown too much. And I'm not saying that in a negative. Yes, I do. Who am I talking to? But I don't blame you. It's the culture you grew up in. I will give you 2 examples. For instance, in Germany, when you are 16, you can drink whatever you want. Nobody cares. 16. I have seen, I'm 54, so I grew up in the 80s, 90s watching so many American sitcoms. And I remember all the moments when the son or the daughter, already being 16, 17-year-old, came a half an hour too late home in the evening. Like instead of 9 p.m., 9:30 p.m., and it was a big drama, as if the parents were afraid she was a victim of a murder. Or if the son had a beer, a small can of beer with 17, it was the big drama, as if the family was in danger of breaking apart, and the father was talking to his son like he had almost committed a murder. It was really baffling for me to see. I mean, if you visit Germany at big cities like Hamburg, Cologne, Berlin and Munich, you have famous great parks right in the center of the city, and there are parts in this park where people just will lie in the sun in the broad daylight in the park naked, and nobody cares. I could harp on, but it is, I think even Germany had the first nudist movement in the late 19th century already, and they claimed it as a naturalist movement, which probably roots in the strong romanticism of German culture. I don't know about the other Western European countries like France or England. I can't say. But as German, we are famous and infamous for our brutal honesty. And God help us, I'm living in Berlin, and Berlin is like the super honest. If you think that Germans are brutally honest, for the rest of Germany, Berlin is a place like you never go. They will always let you think. If you go to the grocery and the cashier, you never ask him, oh, how do you do? Because he will tell you his half of his life stories and all the horrible things that happened in the last 7 days to him, and give him his full opinion on everything you bought, shopped, or didn't shop. Okay, it's like a little bit over the top, but it's how I was socialized. Is truth above all, speak your mind. So I'm trying to tone myself down for a mostly American, mostly Anglo audience. No, I don't. I'm lying again. Sorry, I don't. No. A little bit. I try. Really, I try. It's hard. We are so used to speak as it is. The Brits make a lot of fun YouTube channels about their experiences about living for years in Germany, and it's so funny to see that. If you want to know something about German, go to YouTube channels like an American living in Germany or a British person about Germany. And I just say this because my perspective is, of course, highly influenced by the great liberalism that our society has, which in great part, I have to say clearly, is because Eastern Germany, which is now part of the United Germany, is the second most atheist region in the world after North Korea. And the entirety of Germany, religion has grown to play almost zero role. Now, I'm a pagan, so it's not like I admit I have some beef in this matter, but just saying, in this I'm neutral. I'm not anti-religious like an atheist because I'm a pagan, and I'm not, so it's not that I have a beef in this to say, oh yay, it goes down, because if this goes down, all spirituality goes down. Just saying as a comment that I'm not on one of those two sides you usually have. Atheist versus Christians. I'm out of this calculation entirely, so it's not mine to say yay or nay. That said, it is a strange phenomenon. Now I know East Asia has this saving face, and especially Theravada Buddhism, which is the dominant religion of Thailand, is a very strict reading. It's a little bit like Protestantism. Like there are the scripture and you have to keep it. Strangely still, it has a more tolerant reality than Buddhist countries with other alignments, which are more tolerant on paper, but more strict in reality. I've researched this. I won't put my hand into fire, as we say in Germany, for the reality of this, but it is an interesting side note. And this is one thing, it has all a reason, trust me, while I'm telling this. I'm not just hearing my own voice. I like to hear my own voice, I admit it, but still, it's not the point. Now, back to my school president. I was not whelmed. Not at all. After episode 4, I swear, when I was last night, I watched episode 9, 10, and no, 10, 11, and 12 back to back because I could not stand it to have it still on my list. I'm sorry, really. I know it has on Rakuten Wiki 6.9, 28,000 ratings, and I know it has plenty of awards. It's here also set as 16 years, but I know that 16 years in America is like 10 years in Germany. I just give you a small example. For instance, if you're in a country like Bavaria, a state of Germany, where beer is one of the big traditions, if you, as the parents, go to a beer garden, it's perfectly all right if the parents allow it that your 12-year-old son or daughter has a few sips of beer. It's absolute, nobody cares. That's the level of cultural liberalism or the libertine that we are used. And it's not just in modernity, in such terms. I know I have the rare opportunity as a German to say something good about my country and the historical developments of my country, but I will milk this one moment for all I can. Excuse me. Anyhow, that makes these moments when you see until the very end kisses with hands between, kisses with medals between, kisses with books between the lips, or this I call this the nuclear blast kiss. I'm sorry, exaggeration. I'm a little bit of a trickster personality, if you haven't noticed by now. There this, you know, this Force does this. What's his name? Gunn does this in the series. Like there itches something on my cheek, and then Tin, who's played by Gemini, makes it bump very quick, like diving down and bang and back with the head, in as if super afraid as something would see something, someone would notice. Or the person would have any emotional reaction that is way too much for him to handle. I know it's culture, and culture is as it is, so it's not my point here criticizing the culture. But as a viewer, I think I'm obliged to have an opinion, still saying they can do whatever they want, and I can say whatever they want. It's at least how I hope we can agree on. To be honest, we know that Gemini/Tin is in love with Force, in meaning gun. I will speak in their role names now. So Tin, the school's one of the prime school speaker. We don't have that in Germany. It's a strange thing to see this in Asia and America. School speaker. It's like quite a hierarchical system. And well, after our experiences with hierarchical systems, you forgive us that we are not anymore keen into hierarchy. Sorry for the over-the-top part, and I apologize. Anyway, the school speaker, or whatever this name is, school president or something. No, the president is his mom. Anyway, is madly in love for 2 years, I think, with Gunn, leader of the band called Chinchilla. And by episode 4, basically their relationship is established. At least at 5, both know. So we have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 7 episodes in which basically no development whatsoever happens since then. They have lovey-dovey talks which are sort of like, are they 10? I mean, my first kiss, which I initiated, and probably today would say it's evil machismo if I were not 12. My first kiss was initiated by me without asking. Well, I was 12 and the girl was 12, and she was quite happy, and I was quite happy that she was happy. I found out about the gay thing later. Okay, I was 12. And I don't think that was so unusual that a 12-year-old boy in Germany in the 1980s just kissed a girl. With a boy, probably not so. But with 2025, and I mean, I don't know the situation in those countries. Maybe it's really horrible, or likely it's really horrible. But I mean, we have unrealistic romanticism anyway. Man, if I counted it right, we have no less than three gay couples in a circle of friends of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people. 9 of, I think that is a tenth one, was not on the poster here. In a group of 10 people, 10 boys, we have 3 couples. That makes 6 out of 9 or 10 people are gay. So please don't come to me with realism. It's not about realism. All right? It's just not. So if I put myself into the shoes of Tim, the school president, yeah, he's called that. That's the title. Why am I questioning? The school president. Or the president would technically, no, it's the school director. I don't know, anyway. The school president, Tim, he's madly in love, and by episode 4, or at least 5, Gunn, played by Force, what a good-looking guy, what a great actor, no irony here, knows. And then what? I mean, what real development is there in the following episode? But the worst is, I really felt at some point absolutely madly angry against Gunn. I try to explain. Tim, the school president, played by Gemini, is doing so much for Gunn and his band. No, he's doing it for Gunn. He's not doing it for the band. I mean, he probably likes the others of the band too. But we all know if Gunn would not be the band leader, Tim wouldn't do much. He wouldn't care. He does it for this one person he loves, which is all right. I am absolutely, I'm not saying no, that should not be. I'm extremely liberal in this, to the point of a certain amorality, because there is this. It's love. It has its own rules, and it stands a little bit above other things because it's so special. It's so sacred, in a way. Anyhow, what is Tim getting in return from Gunn, besides teasing him? And there are so many moments when he say, kiss me, kiss me, kiss me, and then he holds his hands before, or then he runs away and turns away, or just, I have an idea, something I must do for the band right now. No, you can't just spend those 5 bloody seconds, sorry language, this 5 bloody seconds to give your boyfriend a normal kiss. What are they supposed to be in the age? It's the last year. I think there's 12 years in most countries. We have 13 years. There are 12 years. What was I in the 13th class? I was older than the rest because I got into school later one year because we moved at the time, and I lost 1 year between 10th and 11th because I wanted to start a different kind of education. It's complicated, the German education system. It's neither here nor there. So I was by far oldest with 20 in the 13th class. So counting that the youngest was probably 18, I assume the people in the 12th, in the final class number 12, the people are around 17, 18. So they are 17 or 18 years old. And you're telling me a young man with the hormones of a 17 or 18-year-old, madly in love with another girl or guy, unseen somewhere, even in in an area where being gay is maybe frowned upon, but not punished to death, all right, would not at least for a few moments have a really passionate kiss. I mean, like French kissing, not this like you kiss your mother goodbye. I mean, what happened there? Is there a hormone drainage happening through something put into the clouds in the rain? I don't understand. And it's so unreal. I mean, I've just reread for the nth time a wonderful manga. I have to put it up just that you know. You can look it up. It's a Japanese manga, Living with Him, by a special edition. I don't even know what that means. A Japanese by Toworu Miyata, Living with Him. It's a story about a young man moving out of his family's apartment, and he was in elementary school close friends with another boy, and both mothers agree that they move together. Now the issue is they haven't seen since elementary school, and for character A this is, well, he's totally changed. He's grown into a muscular, bulky man of, I don't know, 19 years or something, as they are in the story, and there are some sexual scenes, but it is so natural you never feel like watching porn. You aren't aroused seeing it. It has a tenderness which befits the tenderness of the story. Now, I don't need shagging in BL, I know. And I know that many really are like, oh, no, that's not what we want to see. And I am not judgmental about this. But something that is, I mean, do you know Romeo and Juliet, or Tristan and Isolde? They die for their love. Now, I don't expect people to die for their love in BL and TV series. But there was a love story written by the German author Goethe. He lived in the 18th century. A love, die Leiden des jungen Werther, the sufferings of young Werther, a young man who is so madly in love. I've never read it, to be honest. But what I know is it created such a craze of that people reading it in the 18th century that lots of young people were so overwhelmed by the drama they killed themselves. Now, I don't wish to write such a story, but that is love stories which impact. No, I don't want people, really, that's not what I mean. It's just, that is love. It's something that is tearing you apart. It's something that is like 10,000 nuclear bombs when you're 17, 18, 19, that at the same time exploding in your heart. And there is not like you kiss your grandmother on the cheek. Ganz schnell vorbei. Quickly gone away. I know there is the taboos, there is this and that, but there is a point where I feel like, was it the director that didn't, were it the directing crew that didn't want it, or were it the actors that didn't want it? I don't know. I don't remember right now if there were greater kisses in the previous show that I've seen with Force Gemini, which was this where there was a Japanese manga and a Japanese version, love mix, like the story with the rubber, if you remember it. I don't remember if there was more kissing. I don't really think so. So it may just be that they, sorry, spoiler alert, both being straight just don't want this, which is, I would say, legitimate, probably. Though it's a little bit awkward if I'm, as a gay man, would be cast into a role in a love affair with a woman, I would either not sign it, or what I would say, I go in all into it because I'm an actor. Now they're young, all right. I hear you say they're young. Fine, given. I give that point to you. But I'm still a consumer. And as a consumer, I have expectations. I know that is the reason why quite a lot of BL dramas or love stories, the cast is older. So you have people like 25 or even 30 who are playing 18-year-old high school boys. Like in this, there was this was interrupted. Another quite successful couple, also high school, and both actors are 29, 30. I can't for the love of gods remember now, but you will know. Maybe I write it in the comments, or you write it in the comments. It was possible because they somewhat looked the part. It was convincing. Now, when you discover an actor like Fos Natavat Dirochtikul, I try. You should always try to speak how people are actually called. Force. When you discover an actor with the quality of Force, you don't say, oh, we wait until you're 29 or 22. Of course, you use him as if he wants it, which apparently was, I assume, or I will hope is the case. But it makes me ponder. I'm sorry, I can't help it. Was it like, oh no, that's too much. Let's stay with kisses on the cheek. I don't know. I can't say who decided that. Well, it's the actors who saying that's a little bit too close. It's not that much that we want to show. Was it the directing? Because we know that from Thailand, from Korea, from other East Asian countries, we know there are more passionate scenes. We see more. We know this. So it's not that it is impossible. Now, of course, you may say, and I'm quite aware of this, the largest audience in the past, still the largest is, but in the past, the essentially sole audience were women. Women who wrote it, the manga, was way before films, and women were the consumers. It's not me that is entitled to speculate about motivation. And I know, no, that's not true. No, I know that it's not true. I was connected with young women at the time already when we were talking about BL and yaoi manga. I was in an online forum, so I know there were not of this opinion that no sex, no intimate scenes, not real passionate kissing. They were very young girls, and they wanted that. So I know it's not that all the women don't want that. I know for a fact that is not true because I was connected with forums back at the time. I knew I was a younger man then, but so that told me. So I know this is not a generalization that I can make. So do they anticipate, maybe the developers, that it is a majority female audience which doesn't want to see that? Is it so? Is then the question? I don't know if that is it their assumption, those who create these shows? Is it indeed the wish of most of the female audience that it is? And I know that it is not so because I was in 2 forums for many years about manga where 98% were women, mostly young women even, who I know wanted to see more, give us more. So I know that's not the general common sense. Maybe it has changed in the last 15 years. That is another possibility. Again, it's not that I need to see them shagging like rabbits or shagging at all. That's really not what I need to see. It would be enough that it would be implied, like it is in some mangas. You could do it in films, like you see them with shorts and t-shirts going into the bed, and then the screen darkens, and then the screen brightens and you see them side by side at the next morning with happy faces, and everyone knows what happens, but you don't see it. It's like there was a video game in 1987 called Ultima 6 or 7, I don't know, one of the role-playing games. And there, the avatar, the embodiment of virtue, could go to a pirate island, and there was a brothel with 2 women and 1 man. Roberto, a stunningly beautiful pixel guy. And of course, I sent my avatar to Roberto and said, I want a night, something like that. I want your services, no. And are you sure they are Tina and Petra, or whatever their names were? And no, I'm quite sure. And it's like, okay, come follow me. And the screen went dark and the screen went light, and you saw your picture back, and the screen said, you wake up as a much happier avatar the next morning. Nobody said what was happening, and everybody knew it. And this was a game, it was not a rated mature game. I don't know what, I suppose it was for 12 years plus. It would be my guess. It was decades ago. So there is this strange feeling like if I were 10, it's a tense attempt trying to finish that sentence. If I were 10, I would have, at episode 8 or 9, I would have said to Gunn, go fuck yourself. This is not a relationship. You're teasing me all the time. You're doing nothing for me. When I ask for a kiss, like a virgin of the medieval ages, oh no, my virginity is a danger. I would feel like abused, honestly. I would feel like tricked. Like, are we a couple? Are we in love? And you're like, oh no, dear sir, don't kiss me. It would ruin my reputation. Like we will be living in the Victorian era again, or no, I know as a historian, the medieval era was not that Puritan. The 19th century was the Puritan age, and some regions. But the Middle Ages were not Puritanistic at all. I can tell you that as a historian. They were quite naughty, in fact. No, it's true, really. So these are epochs then and partially now, which are more prude than the beloved medieval ages. I try not to swear. I know in the Anglosphere it's quite unpopular. It's a no-go. We swear all the time here in Germany. Nobody cares. If you not swear, in Berlin, if you do not swear every day, people think you're not right in the head. Sorry. Just trying to entertain you a little bit. Anyway, I don't know what to say. I don't know. I mean, I can't say it was bad. But it was bad. Not bad, but like... Honestly, I would not have stood this if I had been 10. I would say, are you kidding me? What are you doing here? You're telling me you love me, or you're hinting me you love me, and then it's I give you, no, that's Tin's fault. He gives him a kiss on the forehead. That was Tin's decision, I think. But most of the time is like Gunn running away. He's caring for his band. He's caring for, and Tin is giving and giving and giving, doing everything, risking to get in trouble for his beloved. It's like such a loop-sided relationship. And what is Gunn doing in return? He's not even giving a thank you kiss. No, like the Virgin in some Puritan Victorian theatre play. And God's help us, even Shakespearean era was more showing things. Is like, you can't kiss me. I put a hand between. I put a book between. I run away like the Virgin of the story of Victorian England. And Tin continues to contribute and contribute and contribute and contribute, and he gets nothing. He gets one soft kiss on the mouth, like I gave when I was 12. I know that's my expectation, and you can rightfully tell me you're expecting too much. But I don't know. I remember. And now I will leave this part out. I was just saying that I was a fan of a great book critic here in Germany who was ripping off books of great literature. And he was hated by every author, every German-speaking author in Austria, Switzerland, Germany, everyone who wrote German in German language. He was hated because he ripped apart, and in very amusing ways for the audience, bad books. But through that, he brought people to have an attention. And he said at one point, even if I rip a book apart, it still makes people read it to know, is this really so bad? I'm not saying it's so bad. God help me. But I'm entirely uncertain. Let's assume I just watched this as a series, and I'm not, because as I'm a gay man, biased towards the beauty of the people and the topic. I would say as a love story or as a story, it's a 4 or 5 of 10. Sorry. There is absolutely almost no character development whatsoever. You can tell me. I just don't see any. There is nothing. This relationship, when are they talking about what they like and they dislike? Isn't that one of the earliest things? Like, do we have interests together? Hobbies? What can we do together? No, only quite in the end, there is this point where they say, oh, we actually have nothing in common. I say, good luck with that relationship. It's this, okay, it's unromantic, I know, but from real life experience, don't do this. Don't go into relationships where you have no common hobbies or interests. Don't do this. I've been there, got the t-shirt. Trust me, it's not good advice. When you love someone and you have nothing else to do but love, it's not something that you will live through. I believed that when I was young too, of course. But I'm an old guy, having been through many torturous, laborious relationship, and I'm back to tell you, it's not. And do they not think about this? That like they have, like in one story, in, was it the thing with the rubber, the previous one, Love Mix Up, where they realized, I don't know those, it was Atom and Kang Thap was the other name, Aoki and Ida, what were their names in the Japanese original. And they find out that they both liked the same manga series. I think it was, at least in the manga that's revealed. I'm not entirely sure it's revealed in one of the two TV series. So they find out, oh, we have interests in common. And they then go to the manga section in bookstores and have, oh, that's our common interest. Yes, you can say to some degree Tim is interested in music, but it's not really a thing they do together for the show. And then the singing. Gods forgive me. It's not bad music, but it's not really good music either. It's catchy tralala. And I still bend my knee to Force. He is a capable singer. Contrary to that, Mai is the croaking of a crow. He can sing for his league well, but it's not pulling me out of the socks. It's not, I'm so taken. It's like the usual tra-la-la, we love each other, can I hope, da-da-da-da, like once, after a certain time, if you've seen enough of these sorts of series, I really start to think, haven't I heard this song before? I know I haven't, but because they all sound so much the same. And it's like, if I wrote love stories as books, okay? So And so you may judge me if you want. I can link them to you. I can send you the PDFs. They may not be your taste, and you can write burning critique about my book. It's totally fine. But I wrote love stories, or love stories inside of other stories, more actually. Yes, gay couple. A small fantasy trilogy, and a vampire novel, if you have to know. And they're not explosive because they're not love stories primarily. This is not a series about a music band. It's a series about love, or at least I was expecting. But in hindsight, I feel more like I've watched a series about a high school band where love plays some role in the background. And this feels like upside down. And then if you have a high school band and love in that age, I expect music which rocks me, which throws me off my chair, and not tralala. I'm sorry if that sounds so negative, but it's the reality of my feelings, and it's like such, because the premise is such a great chance. The actors are so capable, all of them in various degrees, but all of them. And this is such a disappointment. You have so much time. You have essentially 12 hours to tell a story. There is so little going on. There are almost all songs sound like the same. And in the end, they have one very chaste kiss. And I'm seriously wonder if under the towel, or under the sheet in the bed, if they don't have, what was this medieval apparatus of metal that was forced upon women in the Middle Ages, so much to the good Middle Ages, which were, I don't know, for chastity bells. If they don't wear metal chastity bells in the scene. I'm sorry, I'm getting a bit venomous at this point, but it's just, I don't understand the great praise. Maybe it's the order of things. God knows. There is a third series I have still ahead of me. It's Moonlight Chicken, I think. Has it them too? I don't know. I haven't watched it yet. I haven't watched it. But the YouTube video ran in the background, apparently, as I'm seeing now. I'm sorry. But I think, yes, I see it. That has Force and Gemini 2, I don't know if main couple or side couple. I've never seen it. But I will take a break from Force Gemini now, because having seen 2 long series is I need a break from them, so that I get a fresh mind when I see them again. And I don't know, I'm sorry if I disappointed or offended you with saying this, but I felt like I had to say this, and I had to explain myself thoroughly about this, and not write 3, 4, 5, 10 sentences. Sentences written don't have tone. And if I would have not taken my time, you would have wondered what are my reasons, what is my background to coming to these conclusions. I'm sorry if that is not what you like to hear. I don't even know what I will rate. I will leave it, and maybe I will make no rating on Wiki at all. I haven't decided. Right now, I'm mostly, I won't say angry, but something along like crankterous. Crankterous would be the right word. I feel crankterous about it. Like, goodness, what a missed opportunity. What's going on there? And that's not a good mood to write a review. But I wanted to share it with you, really. I'm sorry if I know, how is it said in Lord of the Rings? I called you lard spell. Ill news is an ill guest. I'm leaving it with that. If you have listened to this point, thank you very much. If you agree or disagree, please let me know in the comment. I'm interested either way. And thanks for listening to this. Stay well.